Readers, today is Friday, November 18th, 2022, and this is RioTV. Today we celebrate Rio Robotics' recent surprise victory at a local tournament, watch Playathon musicians reach out to middle schoolers and the community, explore the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset through the example provided by a Rio teacher, and learn a handy new classroom hack for these COVID times. Enjoy.
This is some of the Rio Americano robotics team. Recently, they got first place at a robot engineering competition despite having very little time and having many challenges along the way. Despite all of these challenges, they still came out on top.
Right. Hi, I'm Katie Davies. I'm the team captain and I also operated. And operating is where I was controlling the shooter on the robot and I'd tell it when to shoot.
My name is Mina Sand and I was the pit master. I basically made sure we were always on time and I made sure everyone was on task. I also helped with people swapping in and out so we didn't have too many people in the pit at the same time.
I'm Lucas Ferguson. I'm manufacturing team captain and then training to be drive captain. I was a TA first period for Mr. Cole because I had an open first period, and then he just was like, we're building a robot this year, and he gave me just this frame, and I had to fit pieces on it and put it together. So it was mostly like Mr. Cole's design, and then I just built it around there, and then fixed everything that was wrong with it.
My name is Nithin Dande, and I programmed the robot. So we started programming in the beginning of the year, near to the beginning of the year. I'm also a TA first period, and that's mainly when we started the year, I learned most of how to program these robots because we haven't had a team since my freshman year that actually competed, and at that time I'd been a little on the programming team my freshman year, but I needed to get re-familiar with it, and we used a test robot while this robot was being built. Because the thing with programming, it's very difficult to program without actual hardware to run it on and to see if everything's working.
Rio got lucky because the first place team from Elk Grove invited them to join their team. This allowed them to stay in the competition.
The tournament was great, honestly. I didn't expect us to get past 25th place or get picked. Because I didn't know there was a fourth round picking. So after they picked all the third rounds, like, oh, we're going home. So the top 8 teams, they line them up, and then number 1 usually picks number 2 or number 3, and then they just go down the line, picking the next one up comes out, they pick a person, and then once there's 8 teams of 2, those teams each pick 1 more, and then they pick 1 more again. So a total of 4 by 8 teams.
Yeah, it was a lot of learning because we didn't get a ton of practice before, so it was a lot of adjusting as we went, and there's a lot of communication with Matthew, our other driver, too. So we were really figuring it out, and it was really cool to see how we progressed as we went on the competition.
It was definitely a lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be because it's a lot of running back and forth and a lot of making sure everyone's on time because if you're late to a match then you don't get to compete, so it was definitely a little stressful.
It was very fast paced, we were always doing something the whole time.
There's been a ton of challenges, and the biggest one is just the equipment or lack thereof. We're in a portable, so it's really hard to manufacture or teach manufacturing if you don't have equipment to manufacture. Design's important, but also the experience of building what you design, and not having that has been a struggle. Hopefully the new building's coming along. They're on schedule, so next January we should be in the new building. So it's so exciting just to have the space.
It was kind of tough in such a small confined space, and since we had such a short amount of time, we didn't get to design everything out digitally. We got it done in a short amount of time, and it worked well. Yeah, that's our trophy, and we won it at the competition.
This shows the determination and hard work of these incredibly talented Rio students. Congratulations to them.
On Friday, November 4th, Rio Americano held their 14th annual Playathon. From 7:30 in the morning until late in the evening, band students put on a continuous performance of live music including jazz, Dixieland, and original compositions.
Playathon is awesome. It's cool for the community outreach aspect. We get the middle schoolers and the elementary schoolers to come, and we get to hang out with our friends and play music all day, so it's awesome. We did visitations where we went around to a lot of the middle and elementary schools and we taught them a song. We say, hey, come play with us at Playathon and we'll play the song together. So they play the song that we taught them and it's really fun.
During passing period, students marched through the halls playing their instruments, while the rest of the school enjoyed the positive vibes. In this way, Playathon benefits the whole community and let our feeder school that we want them to attend Rio and play in our Rio band when they arrive here. Playathon reaching out to the community, to middle school to elementary schools to recruit all of Sacramento's great young musicians.
Some people are afraid to take risks. They are afraid to get hurt. They are afraid to fail. These people follow what is called a fixed mindset. They believe that people don't really change, that we are born with certain abilities and talents, and that we can't really do much to change ourselves. They tend to live long, safe, comfortable, boring lives. Perhaps you know someone like this, someone who's afraid to apply themselves to something new because they are so afraid of failure that it is better to just not try very hard. Then, there are these other people who embrace failure, who seek out risk, people who want to push their limits and see what they are capable of. These people assume what is called a growth mindset. They believe that we never stop changing and growing and that we can direct our growth by challenging ourselves. Let me introduce you to Mr. Jason Wallace, a 58-year-old special education teacher here at Rio. He is a man who believes in testing his limits.
Well, as far as racing motorcycles, I saw an old college buddy doing it. He invited me out to a flat track race and I saw it, and it was love at first sight. I wanted to try it myself. I always liked sports that really push me to the brink, physically and mentally, and motorcycle racing has pushed me further than any other sport I've been involved in.
Mr. Wallace is riding his own race, a race against himself.
Like when I do sports, it's not just about the competition, but it's everything you put into it before you compete, right? So I feel good about what I'm putting into it. The results aren't there, and hopefully they'll come soon, and if they don't, I don't really care. I love doing it every time I get out there.
Mr. Wallace has a growth mindset. How about you?
Hey, are you a teacher? Are you sick and tired of students going through all of your tissues? Have you found yourself offering extra credit for tissue boxes? Tissue boxes that you know will disappear in a week, that will just build up in your trash can? Well, there's a better way. And the good news is, all you need is a toilet paper roll and a student, because less work for you. Watch as your student struggles to take the cardboard out of the roll. Once it's finally out, pull the end of the toilet paper through the circle, and you've made yourself a lovely new never-ending supply of tissues, sure to satisfy your students without the need for bribery.
Thanks for watching, Raiders. What are you thankful for?
Well, I'm really thankful for the iSearch